Welcome to my first full video class. I am offering this especially for all my friends at Sacred Health, for Urbandale Parks and Rec students, my friends at Unity, the Walnut Creek Y, and my community at Ativo Trail. So I hope to offer you something that you can practice and get you through this week. You can watch it more than once. And I hope to do one each week during this time that we are apart, but love the idea of being able to connect this way. Maybe you'll get lucky and get to see one of my cats or my pup. We'll see. Let's begin by centering. So find a comfortable seat. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Close the eyes. A nice, long, tall spine. And just breathe naturally. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. Check in with your body. Any places of discomfort, just take a nice inhale. And imagine sending that healing breath there. And release it on your exhale. Just taking a little bit of time to disconnect from the outside world, physically and mentally. Let's place in our hearts something or someone for which we are feeling especially grateful today. And let's gently open our eyes and with a soft gaze, inhale. Hands to sky, exhale to the earth. Inhale to the sky, exhale to the earth, and do that one more time. Beautiful. And let's begin by warming up the body. So we'll start with our toes. I don't know if you can see my toes, but we're going to curl the toes and then splay them. So do the same thing with your hands. So we're going to curl and bring everything in and then splay, really separate everything. It can be a little tricky with the toes, but it takes practice. Let's do that one more time. Curl and splay. And then with your feet flat on the floor, simply inhale as you lift just the heels and feel that stretch across the top of your foot. Exhale. And then we'll inhale and lift the front of the foot. And exhale. And then inhale, lift the heel. That really feels good. And exhale. And inhale, lift the front of the foot. And exhale. And a shout out to my yogi friend Claire in Australia, who has shared a lot of great warm-ups and yogi moves that I'll be sharing during this video, and that's one of them. All right, let's go ahead and just extend the leg, and you can slide the foot back and forth on the floor to warm up the knee joint, or if you'd like to lift it up off the floor, we're just going to straighten and bend that leg and get that knee joint warmed up a little bit this morning. It's a rainy day here, so my knee always knows when it's a rainy day. And then we'll just rest that leg in the palm of our hand and just do some hip circles with that same leg. And then go back the other direction. And then release the leg down. I have two cats watching me like, what are you doing? All right, let's go ahead and go to the other leg now. Just straighten that leg and then bend it. Just warming up that knee joint this morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. doing some hip circles there. You might find if you scoot a little closer to the edge of your chair, you'll get a little bit better rotation in that hip joint. Don't scoot too far though. I don't want anyone falling off. And then lower that foot to the ground. All right, so let's just go ahead and inhale and bring our hands up. And exhale, palms to the legs. Inhale, hands raise. And exhale, bring both hands over on one knee. Inhale. And this time, bring both hands over to the opposite knee. Inhale. Exhale as you bring both hands to this knee, raise the opposite leg, and we'll take a breath here, or two. And inhale. And exhale, we'll go to the opposite leg. We'll do that a couple of more times. Breathing in, and exhaling, and taking a couple of more breaths. Also, shout out to Carrie Sims, who I recently took chair yoga training with, because I learned some things from him too. This is just a combination of a lot of things I've learned from a lot of teachers over the year, and they all come together. Let's bring our hands to our heart. And we'll inhale and take the hands one direction and our gaze the opposite direction. Exhale to center. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that again. Beautiful. Bring the hands down to the lap, and let's just do some nice gentle shoulder circles. And then go back the other direction, nice and slow. We tend to want to whip through these. Just need to go nice and slow and find a good range of motion. Bring the shoulders up, shrug way up to the ear, and just bring it out tight, and even just maybe lift the chin a bit and rest your head in the cradle of your shoulders. And then release down, and then imagine someone pressing on top of your shoulders. Let's do that again. Come up. Really getting into that shrug. Exhaling, releasing down. We'll do a little nice cat-cow movement. Gentle, maybe not so much rounding and a little more lengthening. So let's see how it looks. And you can see how it feels in your body. So bring the heels of our hands into our hip creases. So we inhale and lift our heart. And then exhale, just take the hands up to the knees as you lean back. Inhale. And exhale. Just do a few more of these on your own. You can go at your own pace. And you might find that one of the positions feels really super great in the body. So you could just hold it there for a little bit if you want to. It's your practice. Let's do one more. Lifting that heart, not throwing the neck back, just lifting the heart. And then we'll come to center. Right, beautiful. Let's take our hands out to sides with our wrist circles going up. Thank you, Beth. Down. And exhale down. And then we'll inhale with our hands pointing downward and just hold that for a moment. Notice how that feels. And then exhale with palms pressing outward, noticing how that feels and comes down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Take a breath here. And exhale. Again, thanks to Claire. I'm going to put links to some of these people I'm mentioning in the email and on Facebook, however I share this, because They have some great videos available too, and it'd be fun for you to explore with some other teachers. Absolutely. All right, let's take our left ear toward our left shoulder. Whew. Remembering to engage that waistband, to sit tall. Take a look down toward your shoulder. If you'd like, you could gently press your fingertips on the back of your head to get a little bit more of a stretch, a little bit more lengthening. Take your gaze forward and back up to center. We'll go to the other side. Nice and gentle, never forcing, never any pain in yoga. And then look down at your shoulder. Use the fingertips, but we sure can notice places where we're a little tight. And instead of just trying to go deeper, it's better really just to stay in that position and not force it and not go to your edge, but just to stay in that position and hold it for a few breaths. That can make a big difference. Also, I'm choosing not to use any blocks or strap or props today because I'm going to go on the assumption that you don't have those things at home. So I'm going to show you how you can have an accessible yoga practice without props, except a chair, of course. And for each of the postures and shapes we practice today, I will share with you options both in the chair and standing. So you can decide which one is best for your body today, because you're in charge of your body, so listen to it. All right, let's go ahead and begin in mountain pose. So our feet are rooted down into the earth. You can certainly do this standing as well. Nice long spine, shoulders relaxed. Chin parallel to the floor. Let's just take a breath here for a moment. Think about a mountain, still, stable, strong. It's one of the most peaceful postures. Let's inhale and we'll bring our arms up and come up on our toes. You can do this standing as well. Exhale, lower the heels to the ground. Inhale, up on our toes. Exhale, lower to the earth. This time we'll change up with the arms. So we'll inhale, up on our toes. One arm goes out to the side, one reaches up. And exhale. And we'll do the other side now. Breathing in, breathing out. Just move through a few more of those. You can go at your own pace. This I learned from Christine Weber, Subtle Yoga. A lot of things I'll do in this video I learned from her. She has a very slow and subtle approach. That's the name of her business, Subtle Yoga. I really like it. I think it feels good in the body and it's accessible and very calming. All right, let's go ahead and bring her up and let's just hold it for a moment now. If you're doing this standing, you may need to take a break and lower the heels to the ground. And exhale. Beautiful. Just kind of shake everything out a little bit. You can bounce those legs around, wiggle your arms, just kind of get loose. All right, here we go. I've got a little crescent moon, so we'll bring our arms up. And you can form this mudra if you would like to bring above. Let's reach to the sky, nice and high. Excuse me, my cat is going in the china cabinet. Finley, no, get out of there. This is real life, guys. Of course, he just has to have the attention. So anyway, this is Finley. Stay out of things. Cats. All right, back to crescent. Here we go. So reaching towards the sky. And inhale to one side. And then think about bringing that hip up to meet the shoulder. And getting a little more of a squeeze on that side waist. Come back to center. The inhale will go to the other side. And again, lift that heel at the direction you're reaching toward and try to get more of a squeeze. I'll show you what this looks like if you're standing. I mean, it's not rocket science, but I'll show you anyway. So we bring it up, and if you're sitting, you can go ahead and do this in your chair. We take it to one side and then lift that same heel, and you can see how it gets so much more of a squeeze on that side. Come back to standing. And when we come to the other side and lift that heel, oh wow, you just get so much more of a squeeze in that side waist and much more expansion on the outside. And then bring your hands down. I learned that in a somatics workshop at Sacred Health. So just brings, there's so many amazing things to learn from so many people. I just want to honor them and let you know that there's a lot of good people out there sharing some amazing yoga. All right, let's come back to our mountain. Breathe in and out. Let's take a moment to get centered. All right, so let's try a little warrior one, a little dynamic movement coming in and out of warrior one. If you're practicing in a chair, you might want to scoot over to the side a little bit. And then this is your front leg, the bent knee. And then this leg, you can reach back and be up on your toes and have it like that. Make sure that you feel stable. You can always have one hand on the chair, certainly. You could bring it forward a little bit and just kind of have the knee hanging out there. Or if you have a block, you could rest the knee on the block. Or if that's uncomfortable, just simply have this leg out to the side. Okay. What matters is we've got our legs and we're rooting down into the earth. If you're standing, your front leg is bent, your back leg is behind you. Put a little more width between you can come forward and then be here. Okay. So let's all go ahead and find our warrior one. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to heart. If you're standing, you'll straighten your leg on the exhale. If you're seated, the front leg will remain the same. So inhale. And exhale. Move to the chair. Inhale, really, if I'm in the chair, I'm really focusing on pressing down into the earth with both feet. And exhale. Now, if that bothers your shoulders, you can do this. Inhale. And exhale. Do a couple more on your own. All right. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. So use your chair to support you as you heel toe that leg back to the front. If you're standing, bring that back foot forward. And then we'll go ahead and step back with our opposite leg. Now, if you're in the chair and if you're standing, you want to find a position that feels comfortable and safe for your legs. So there shouldn't be any torquing of the knee or discomfort in the ankle. So you find what you might have to play around with a little bit to find what works for you. And it could be different on this side than it was on the other side. That's pretty normal. All right, here we go. Let's breathe in and out. Breathe in. And remember, if you're doing this standing, to straighten the front leg when we bring our hands to heart. And also remember that you can have your arms here if the shoulder bothers. If one shoulder, if you're in a sling, you practice with one arm. I did that for several months. We can always adapt and we can always make every pose accessible, no matter what's happening in the body. I miss seeing you though, and being able to support you in that way. But I'm not throwing anything new at you. These are all things that we've done in class before. So just be gentle. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do a warrior Warrior Two series. So for Warrior Two, our front leg is actually going to be our side leg. And then this leg is the one that steps back. So I just kind of stretch it out to the side here. I'm not even going to try to put it behind me because it's just not going to work well in the body, in the chair. It's not really that safe. So I do need to get there where my foot can reach the floor. So anyway, front leg is back leg. It's just out to the side and just make sure it's comfortable. Pressing down into the feet, we'll bring our hands out to the sides and look out over that front leg. Inhale and exhale. And again, if you're doing this standing, on the exhale, you can straighten the front leg. Inhale and exhale. So if you're standing, it would look like this. Breathing in, breathing out. Just straightening that front leg gives it a little bit of a break. Breathing in and out. Just move through that a couple more times. Nice, slow, even breathing. So calming. All right, so now we'll add in a side angle. So if you're standing, the side angle will look like this. You'll bring the forearm to the leg. This arm, you can reach out over your head. And if that bothers your shoulder, you can have your hand on your hip. If you're seated, it's really the same thing. We'll bring our forearm and then the arm position again. This can be a little taxing on the shoulder for some people, so feel free to keep one hand on your hip. So let's go ahead and move between those two. So we'll inhale and exhale to side angle. Inhale to Warrior Two. Exhale to side angle. Inhale to Warrior Two. Exhale to side angle. Inhale to Warrior Two. Now we're going to add in a little Peaceful Warrior. Exhale to Peaceful Warrior. So if you're standing, you'll take that hand down the leg. If you're seated, you can rest it on the chair. And then inhale to Warrior Two. And we'll go back to Peaceful. Exhale. Inhale, Warrior Two. Looking out. Courageous, strong, stable, and peaceful. Now, this could get the neck, so you can look down at the ground. You can look down at your back foot. You do not have to look up at your hand. If it bothers your neck, don't do it. Come back to Warrior Two. Lower our hands to our sides. And let's bring both feet back forward and come to our mountain for a moment. Take a breath or two. Just noticing the body, noticing how it's feeling. And we'll go to the other side. So we bring the opposite leg to the other side. This leg reaches out. It might feel differently. So you have to find the position where it feels comfortable and nothing is straining. The knee can be bent. It should be actually a little bit. All right, here we go. Bring our arms up shoulder height, looking out for Warrior Two. Inhale and exhale. Pressing the feet into the earth on the inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we'll put in the side angle. Inhale and exhale. Again, reaching out over that ear. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale to peaceful. Being mindful of your neck. Gaze can be up toward the hand, just looking out. It can be looking anywhere really. And coming back to warrior two. Inhale and exhale to peaceful. Inhale and exhale. And inhale to warrior two. And exhale, hands to heart. Here comes my Keo dog. You can hear it clapping along. Hi, Keo. You want to be in the yoga video? Do you? She's a good girl. It's fun to see people's pets in these videos that so many are doing at home. Yes, you're sweet. You're a sweet girl. All right, so here we are, back up mountain. Distraction. This gives me time to practice my focus and concentration. So speaking of that, let's do a balance pose. Let's do a little eagle. So seated, you can simply bring the legs in tight and just cross the ankles and squeeze the legs together. You can cross one leg over the other and you can just have them like this, or you can really squeeze those in together. So those are a couple options if you're seated for the legs. If you're standing, you have options as well. Always do. You have the chair right here to support balance. So you could just cross one leg in front of the other and be up on the toes. Maybe bend the knees a little bit. You can be right here. Or you have the chair. If you want to practice standing on one foot, you have the chair right here to support you should you need it for balance and safety. So those are the options for the feet. You can decide which one you want to do. Now, let's go, if we cross our right leg over first and bring our hands out to sides, we'll bring our hands toward each other with the left arm on top. Bend the elbows and bring the hands together. I'm going to squeeze everything in. Eagle, clear seeing. Now, find your drishti, your gaze, your focal point. This is tricky because your arms are right in front of your face. So that's good. It's a good challenge for us. If this is bothering your arms, you can just still have your left arm be on top and just do genie arms. Those of you that remember I Dream of Genie. Or you can do the Garudra Mudra right here. We're bringing everything in close in eagle pose. And what it looks like can be different for each one of us. Then we'll lower our hands, uncross our legs, and just kind of shake everything out a little bit, and we'll go to the other side. So this time our right leg will be our supporting leg, so we'll want to really root down into the ground. The left leg will cross over. I'm going to do it this way this time. I can, different sides of the body. You can do it whatever way you want. And then we'll go ahead, and since our left leg is crossed over, this time we'll bring our arms around and the right arm goes on top. Bend the elbows. You can have the backs of the hands together, the hands. You don't have to bring them in tight. If you want to keep them a little bit separated to help you maintain your drishti or your focal point, just find something. If I was standing, I might find a spot 6 feet out on the floor to look at. Seated, I'm finding something a little more at eye level. Pressing down into my supporting leg, squeezing everything in, and breathing. Always breathing. There's no wrong way to breathe. but you do have to breathe. So many muscles engaged right now. Feels really good. Right, so we're just going to relax our arms and legs, bring our arms down, uncross our legs, and get things kind of settled out here. Let's inhale, bring our hands to sky. Exhale toward the earth. So now it's time for Shavasana. Shavasana can be practiced in a chair. It can be practiced laying on your mat. You could have a little neck roll if you're laying on your mat, or even a small pillow. That feels good to you. If you're chilly, you can cover up with a blanket if you're on your mat. If you choose to stay in your chair, you can find a blanket or a cushion to put behind you, and maybe find a little something to put your feet up on. A little footstool, a box, a stack of books. So you have that feeling of being stretched out. It feels really nice. You can even roll up a blanket or a towel to bring around your neck to rest your hands on, and that supports the neck. And that can feel really, really nice too. So go ahead and find your Shavasana. And before you turn this off to practice your Shavasana, just know that my heart is with you. I wish you peace. I wish you wellness. And we will meet again. Thank you.